few seconds. I know it's in the middle of the day in Jersey, and it's early in the morning in the U.S., but I wanted to jump on here. This is your brother Asad, right? Live from Nairobi, Kenya. Just landed. So hopefully let's see if some folks jump in here. Absolutely no one's in here right now. It feels weird talking to myself. But anyway, so y'all will see it on the replay. So we just landed, and first of all, I is your brother Asad, and I'm back again with another quick live. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop new material on this channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, I got to give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar shout out to my South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel. My wife, myself, my children, greatly appreciate it. Third, in terms of housekeeping, bam, 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 just like that. Bam, 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 just like that. I got to give a shout out to the Kenyan family, because we in Kenya right now, or I'm in Kenya right now. Shout out to the Blue Couch Podcast. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, Michelle. Thank y'all for joining, or whatever. Thank y'all for joining, Michelle. Appreciate you. Blue Couch Podcast, man. Listen, I'm excited. I only been in Nairobi for about 2 hours. We landed, and the revolutionary doctor. All right, Karabo. I think I said it right. Karabo. Maybe so. So yeah, we just landed at the airport and made it through passport control and hopped in a taxi and made it to the hotel here. So in about 15-20 minutes, I don't know how long this live is going to be, we're going to hook up and we're all going to go. I got to buy some shoes. We're going to go to the mall and stuff. And then we're supposed to go to dinner with some colleagues who are coming from other parts of the continent. We've got some people coming from Ghana, got some people coming from, I think it is, I don't know, Libya, maybe not, Morocco, somewhere, North Africa. And then we got some folk coming from the United States. So it's about to be a whole Pan-African thing happening. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that part. All right. Shia. I don't want to. What's happening? She said UK family. Have a time. Thank you so much, man. We will, man. We are. Listen. I realized something. So I'm riding with my colleagues who are from South Africa. And it was a sign that said, I think it said HIINI language 2 or something like that. So my South African family may know, but they were like, oh no, we can read the language. So I didn't realize how connected Kenya and like this Bantu language was to South Africa. Like South Africa's Bantu, like they actually were able to read the sign. I was like, dang, that's crazy. Technically different languages, but the root is the same. I guess it's kind of like Latin, Spanish, Portuguese, French. Like if you can look at the letters and kind of know what it's saying or whatever have you, So if anybody here has been to Kenya or lives in Kenya and has some suggestions for me, please let me know, because I really want to, get around. They told me about a club called Carnival. It's like, oh, you have to go to Carnival, doctor. I was like, okay, I ain't scared now. I'll go. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to check out Carnival. There's a few other things I want to do, but Swahili and Zulu and other Bantu languages are very, very similar. We all from one branch of, okay. All right, thank you. Well, yeah, they were able to like I said, we were in the car and they read a sign, and the driver was like, oh no, that's our language. And they were like, oh no, that's our language. Okay, branches of the tree. Okay, we're all from one branch of the tree. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's kind of like the Latin-based languages. But yeah, I want to check out Kenya. I want to see as much as I can. I'm only here until Saturday, and I don't want to go, Nairobi versus Joburg or whatever have you. I want to just experience Nairobi and then go back and say, okay, this is what I experienced in Nairobi. Not just trying to do a comparison and contrasting of which one is better or whatever, all that old type of competition. I just want to give an honest assessment of my time here in Nairobi. And I'm really excited because already it seems just as easy to move around because even though like Swahili and is like the language I guess of everyday people, like everyday people speaking it, but English I can still get around. Enjoy your Nairobi stay, Doko Teller. I don't know if I said that right. Y'all know I messed it up, but whatever it means, it probably sound good. It probably means something good. So shout out to you for believing that. So yeah. So let's see. Aside, your emotional intelligence is powerful, and that's what gives you a keen understanding of politics and great sense of humor. We are fans of yours in South Africa. Man, listen, thank you. I'm fans of South Africa, and really can't wait to get back to Joburg. Not that I have nothing against Nairobi, just Joburg is home to me now. So yeah, so Doctella is doctor. Okay, I got you. I got you. That must be in Zulu. In the Zulu. Okay. Okay. I wish I could tell how to say it, so I won't be out here saying it wrong. Doc, Doctella. I don't know. Like when my like doctor. Don't say doctor. Doctor. I'm from the doctor side. All right. So yeah, man. Y'all keep up with the comments. It's gonna make this 15, 20 minutes a little more interesting. So yeah. So here's the thing. I have never traveled to another country without Adrian. I've traveled to a country to meet her because when I married in 2009, she had to go to Tanzania. If I buy the book, y'all will know about the story. Y'all will know about the Tanzania story. But that was like I was traveling to meet her. But now this is my first time like traveling to another country without her. So this is weird. You know what I'm saying? I got this bed over here. I sleep in the bed all by myself. Oh God, this is crazy. This is crazy. So and she had and the children have exams this week, and she got to run back and forth to the thing. I know, boy, it's gonna be pressure when I get back. All next week I gotta take the children. She gotta deal with them children and them attitudes and not trying to study and all that type of stuff. While I'm gone, it's gonna be but it's gonna be rough on me sitting up here without my wife. That's my little road dog, so but our colleagues Brother Asad, I emailed you about 3 weeks ago, want to know about schools for my son visiting from London. So I can give you a little shout out. I know the trolls are coming there on every live. Please block them. It would be great to interact with you on more lives in real time. Definitely. I was gonna do a whole Zoom thing or whatever have you, but I don't have time because we're supposed to be meeting downstairs to start moving around. So we're at Strathmore University, or our conference is at Strathmore. The thing is, Strathmore has these rules like for the business school, you cannot wear jeans, you cannot wear short sleeves, you have to have a suit and stuff on. So I have my suit, but I didn't bring any shoes. Well, I didn't bring the right shoes. They said you can't have rubber shoes. I ain't never. That's new. Somebody said, brother, Asad, Nairobi is comparable to Joburg. Okay. Oh, Telewo. I don't know if I said that right, but let me tell you. So, some of the schools that we found that were very great. So when we first moved to Joburg, my children were in the French school because we're from New Orleans. New Orleans was a French colony, and they have French schools still, right? So my children left French school in New Orleans and came to the French school here in Joburg, and it was a great experience, just a little different, right? Because like they were real francophones, right? And our children spoke French all throughout school, but they didn't speak it at home. I don't even speak English good, so damn sure can't speak no French. So we left it, we moved from there and went to Crawford. So a few schools that I've heard good things about. Crawford, I really enjoy. Redham, depending on how old your child is another good school. There is St. John's, which I think is an excellent school from all the stuff that I've heard about in Joburg, but I think it's expensive and I can't afford nothing like that. And then Stein City has a school that they started. Now I think it is well funded, but from what I understand, talking to like teachers at Crawford, they were like, well, it hasn't built the reputation yet because it's new, right? So and those are some of the schools I know about. We're happy with Crawford. Crawford has different locations, like one in Santon, one by Walter Sisulu. I think that's Krugersdorp over in that area, or Rudaport. Then they have one in Lone Hill, and I don't know. I think they got a couple of more, like one down south. So there's like, I don't even speak English. I don't. I don't. That's not yeah. I really had to try, y'all. When y'all to see me at this conference, and we call it code switching when I had to put on my white voice. And it takes time for me to actually translate this New Orleans lingo into like something that's intelligible for other people to understand. Um, you said somebody said I know the trolls are coming. I ain't worried about no trolls though. You know, we focus on those who love us and we love them back. Haters be hating. But I really want to see somebody said Nairobi is comparable to Joburg. Now that's a big statement. Now I've only been here 2 hours, so I can't confirm or deny it. Right? I know how we rode the highways. I saw the buildings. But where we are coming from, I think they said it is uh, Nairobi West, I think the guy was saying. And as we were driving on the highway, I looked in the distance and I said, man, that looked like New York over there. So if you say it's comparable to Joburg, I can agree when I saw like all the buildings. Now keep in mind, I'm from a little small city. I know y'all hear me talk about New Orleans and represent it so hard, man. New Orleans is this big. You can fit New Orleans inside Soweto. You can fit New Orleans inside Waterfall City, right? It is a small place. So I'm impressed with buildings and shit. I see a lot of, because we don't have a lot of buildings. We got one street downtown, one street, Canal Street, and all those buildings are just about hotels, right? You have a few other, like one Shell Square and stuff like that, but we don't have a gang of skyscrapers and tall buildings, maybe six, seven of them, something like that, like real skyscrapers. And the rest of them are just, weird. So when I see Joburg or when I saw Nairobi or when I see New York, that shit is impressive to me. I'd be like, gee, man, look at all these buildings. People live in these places. People do, Doc, I wanted to ask you, what's the difference between New Orleans and Louisiana? So New Orleans, that's a great question. So New Orleans is a 300-year-old city. Louisiana was created when the French sold Louisiana to the English, to the United States. And it's called the Louisiana Purchase. And it wasn't just the state of Louisiana, it was a whole swath of America. And it literally doubled the size of, peace lady, it doubled the size of the United States. But New Orleans culturally is when I say New Orleans and Louisiana are different, culturally they are different. New Orleans from the 1700s, when the slavery was in full effect, the French were bringing in hundreds of thousands of Africans into New Orleans. And what the French did that was different from the British and or the Portuguese, the French allowed for these enslaved Africans to have Sundays off, right? So now imagine you stripped from your homeland, you stripped from Africa, you're on a boat with people from Angola, people from Niger, people from Nigeria. Just, those are the modern names of these places. But y'all all on one boat. But when y'all come into New Orleans, when they came into New Orleans, right? When they came into the U.S., they were kind of, you working sun up to sundown, Monday through Friday, blah blah blah. It's clear. Clear, and your voice is clear. I don't know what that means. But I gotta get to this Geechee Dan. Shout out Geechee Dan from New Orleans. So and no, yeah, I had to read the Seven Wars saying, but no, I remember your Geechee. Look, Geechee. But so in New Orleans, they were allowed to have Sundays off, and they would gather in a place called Congo Square. So in Congo Square, you get all of these mixtures of different Africans and people from all West Africa and Central Africa, and they created a unique culture in New Orleans where other people were not allowed to preserve that. New Orleans was allowed to preserve, like the Africans in New Orleans were allowed to preserve it. Then there was the mixture of the French, and then there was the mixture of the Spanish. So you have this unique culture in New Orleans that is not like Baton Rouge, which is 45 minutes from us. That's our capital. That's the capital of Louisiana. And so yeah, New Orleanians are culturally different. We don't even have the same accent as people in Baton Rouge for 45 minutes. So we're still our brothers, and we got cousins who didn't live in Baton Rouge more, so it's technically still family, but you just have to visit it to see it is its own place. It has its own history, its own culture. So when we say like Shreveport, I don't know if y'all know Shreveport, but if you pay attention to 50 Cent, the rapper 50 Cent, he just invested a lot of money and built a studio in Shreveport. So like if you look at people from Shreveport, they really different from New Orleans. Like that's a whole different world. That's like night and day. So when I say New Orleans and Louisiana, two separate things, it's really a cultural statement. But that's kind of wearing old too, because after Hurricane Katrina, so many of us were dispersed. So you can go down to Houston and find some phenomenal New Orleans because we've been living there. You 50,000 New Orleanians moved to Houston and they didn't started cooking their food, because we have our own cuisine. That's another thing. Like we have our own cuisine. We have our own food. We eat a lot of seafood. We eat gumbo. We eat etouffee and jambalaya, which is jollof, and all of that stuff, right? So we have our own cuisine. You don't really find that in, Mississippi. Shout out to Mississippi, Adrian people from Mississippi. You don't really find it. It's a New Orleans thing. But now that we have been dispersed, right? We're a new diaspora, right? Another black diaspora. All of our culture is kind of all over. So now you see people in St. Louis making gumbo. Shout out to Ronnie Greedy, Big Spooder. But anyway, somebody said, "Are you familiar with Austin Holman?" I think that's the young brother that I seen on TV. I mean, on YouTube. He's a Black American. Yeah. And he lives in Nairobi. Oh no, I didn't know he lived in Nairobi. I thought he was in Columbus. I thought he was like a passport bro or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna holler at him. She was shaking pork chops and bacon. Uh, okay, it's back. All right, so sorry about that, y'all. Mississippi in the building. So jollof is the same as jambalaya, very similar. So it is rooted in the same thing. So it's a tomato red paste or base with rice. Jollof is up. So I'll tell you what happened. I'll give you a great story. So there's a Ghanaian family living in Johannesburg that we ran into. Shout out to Sarah and her people, and they invited us over for jollof, right? And I'm eating the jollof. I'm like, man, I ain't had no jambalaya in a minute. This good. And then I invited them over to the house for jambalaya, and they were like, "This is jollof." The husband was like, "This is jollof." If you took this to Ghana, they would be like, "This is jollof." So I think the only difference is that our protein, like shrimp and sometimes sausage, and you'll find a chicken jambalaya sometime, but really it'd be shrimp and sausage. So and then in jollof, like the protein, kind of on the side or whatever have you. So yeah, so but basically the history of the dish is jambalaya comes from West Africa, and then obviously there is influences from the French and just the ingredients that are available to us. So maybe in Ghana we use chicken or beef or whatever we could find. In New Orleans we buy water. We are surrounded by water. We are a peninsula with water on every side but one little strip that connects us to the mainland. So we're gonna use a whole bunch of seafood, a whole bunch of shit out the water. Shoot, I might find me a catfish jambalaya. You hear me? I ain't had no good catfish. Y'all don't have no catfish on the African continent. We need to get that popping. Shout out to Mr. October. He said Mississippi in the building. Y'all, okay, my phone about to die. Just 20 minutes. The people probably waiting on me, but I did want to jump on and connect with y'all. The book will be out on the 1st. If you signed up, you'll get an email. I already set it out, scheduled it, or whatever have you. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film some of my experiences here in Nairobi, and oh, see, that's the people just hitting me up right now. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta go, y'all. I got people waiting on me, but I'm gonna film and I will put up a video, man. Shout out to the family for y'all. Appreciate this. If y'all see my wife, y'all make sure y'all protect her because I ain't there with her, but she do have a pistol. Y'all have a good one, fam. Let me how I get out of here. All right.